Now let us look at some of the basic concepts that you should know before we embark upon solving the problems. The first is with regard to direction sense test. The questions can be of two kinds. Questions under direction sense test can be of two kinds. One is, it may ask about the distance. A started from point P, he walked towards north 30 meters, then he took a left turn and walked further for 20 meters, then again he took a left turn and walked another 20 meters. What is the distance from the destination to the starting point? So the question can ask about distance, and another is about direction. A started from point P, he walked north for 10 meters, he took a right turn, then walked further for 20 meters, then again he took a left turn and walked further for another 10 meters. In which direction he is facing? So the questions can be either direction related or distance related. So these are the two types of questions that are likely to come. Then another basic thing we should always remember is that we should start solving the problem after drawing the legend of directions. This is a very important point. Many people keep the legend in their mind, but I will always advise you, always draw the legend, because that will be very helpful, and it will ensure that we don't make critical mistakes. How to draw the legend? I will now show it to you. All of us know north, south. East, west. It is not sufficient. You should also draw the subdirections. What are the subdirections? Northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. So all these subdirections you should draw. Now you please remember one important aspect about these directions. What is that? The east is always in the clock side direction of north. It's an important point you should remember. Remember news. It is N-E-W-S. N-E. It is always in the clockwise direction. Because sometimes they will say a person is facing west, he turned 180 degree, and now in which direction he is looking. For that calculation, you should know where is east, where is north. To recalculate that, you need this basic mnemonic device. East is always in the clockwise direction of north. This is a very simple thing. East is always in the clockwise direction of north. Please remember this. Then again, sometimes in some problems, they give this question. A person is facing standing east, and in that case, what is his right hand showing? If he is keeping his arms extended, what is the right hand showing? Please always remember another mnemonic device which I will tell you. If a person faces the east, if a person stands facing the east, his right hand will always show south direction. So I will write it down. If a person stands facing east, his right hand will always show south. Now how to remember this? Simply, if a person stands facing east, his right hand will always show south. R, S, you can connect this. It is very easy to remember RS because they are nearby alphabets. So if you remember, if a person stands facing east, his right hand side will always show east. This will be helpful to you in your solving this directions in test problem also in your real life. Somewhere you go to a new town and you get confused, stand towards east and show your right hand direction, and that is south. RS, always remember, if a person faces east, his right hand shows south. Another basic point which I will suggest to you is that you always start from the center of the legend. Some people, they draw the legend at one corner and they draw it. The main picture is drawn. Instead, you can draw the legend and then start from the center. Now, what is the advantage of it? I will show it to you. Now this is the legend of directions. Now if there is a problem which says a person is starting from A, he goes north 30 meters. This is A, he goes north 30 meters to point B. At this point he takes a right turn and goes another 30 meters. At this point he takes another right turn and goes 40 meters. Now we know we are in which quarter. We are in the southeast quartet of the legend. So if you follow this simple principle of starting from the center, at all times as you are drawing, you know you are in which quartet, which will help you to decide the direction as well as the distance easily. Then another basic point is right-left confusion. Many students have this right-left confusion. A started towards north, he walked for 30 meters and reached point B. At point B, he took a right turn. Now how to avoid any confusion? Think you are there. You are walking facing north. Then this is your right, this is your left. So if you imagine you are there at that particular point, there will be no confusion. You can always remember this very simple point and you take a right turn. Then you reach point C. Here again you take a right turn. Now you think you are facing this direction. This is your right hand, this is your left hand. So you take a right turn means you have to come here. At this point D, you again take a right turn. Think you are here facing south. You take a right turn means you draw here. This is the direction in which you will be going. So right-left confusion to avoid. There is an easy thing. Imagine that you are there and you are right. You are there facing the same direction as the person who is walking is doing, and then your right-left confusion will be completely removed. Then another point is clockwise and anti-clockwise. This is sometimes creating some confusion in the minds of students. What is clockwise? What is anti-clockwise? So now I will tell you a simple formula or simple statement. If you remember, then this confusion you will never get, which is clockwise, which is anti-clockwise. Remember that there is a clock. Imagine that there is a clock on the face of the paper on which you are working. Suppose this is the paper on which you are working. There is a clock here. This is the hour hand, this is the minute hand. Now imagine this clock is there on the face of the paper which you are working. Now, which is clockwise? The way the minute hand moves is clockwise. This is the way it moves. This is clockwise. What is anti-clockwise? Opposite of it is anti-clockwise. This is anti-clockwise. Therefore, to avoid a confusion between clockwise and anti-clockwise direction, imagine there is a clock on the face of the paper on which you are working. The way the minute hand moves is clockwise, the opposite of it is anti-clockwise.